Pay attention. Welcome to the United States. But follow the rules. Stop. Right. You have a lot to lose. I mean, even though you didn't go far, here you are, costing you time, money. But you're learning a little bit about social studies and how the system works. This isn't the best way to learn, but it's a way. Okay, there we go. Thanks.
Need him to come things right over here.
Yeah.
Is he got your right thumbprint?
John,
Place it on the box right here.
Kevin
That
Aranda.
again?
It's right outside the door.
It certainly may be.
I've never seen it.
That's supposed to be. Yeah, give them the advice. Kevin Aranda.
Oh, no, that's my. Those.
Don't know what job is in. Kevin Aranda.
He does not speak English, but he has it on here.
Somebody here?
Yes. She needs to come up with the whole thing. He doesn't speak English, but she does.
Forward, please.
Yes. Right. In this case, me and Mr. Laird have been talking about it. We might have resolution. However, my client is going through some immigration issues right now. So if we could get just a 6-week resetting, so I can make sure that there's no issues. That's our first time being court.
Okay, I understand. It's just, we all feel the effects of border issues. I mean, is the man legally or illegally?
I think he's legally here. Yes, well, that's what it's told, but yeah, I don't know for sure, but he is not. He's not a citizen.
Do you speak English
Yes.
and Spanish?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you related to him? Are you kin to him?
Yes.
Who are you?
Work partners.
And how are you related?
Oh,
They're engaged.
Oh, you're engaged. Okay. Are you employed somewhere? You, man?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Raise your right hand. Use your other right hand. God bless you. There you go. You solemnly swear or affirm that you will truly interpret for this man who is Kevin Aranda
Yes.
my English into Spanish.
Yes.
He understands. And then his answers in Spanish to English. So the court reporter can type all of that. Will you do that
Yes, sir.
correctly? So help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, lower your name. You have to speak out. You have a soft voice.
Scarlett Boston.
All right. And you are, what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak English and you can translate into Spanish. All right. Yeah, but I'm going to speak in the first person, just like I was talking to him, but just say exactly what I am saying. Okay. All right. Are you Kevin Aranda?
That is better than. Yes.
All right. See, that's the way we're perfect. So you are charged with the state jail felony of burglary of a building.
One more time. One more, same one.
Do you understand?
Yes.
You have to speak out. Okay. All right. If convicted of this, you are facing up to 2 years in the state jail. It is a felony offense, which is very serious. Do you understand? All right. Mr. West is your attorney. He's a very good lawyer. And he is asking to reset this case for 30 days for him to work on the case on your behalf. Do you understand?
Okay.
All right. So we will reset this for 30 days. Do you understand? Understand? Now, a couple of things. Are you in this country illegally or are you legally in the United States?
We speak, we don't know exactly.
I'm sorry,
We don't know exactly what she has.
you don't know exactly.
But we're,
Okay.
we're working on it.
Pay attention. Welcome to the United States, but follow the rules. We welcome people. My grandmother is Spanish. So she came to America through the port and did it the proper way. But while in America, while you were trying to get citizenship, follow the rules. Do you understand? We welcome people, but don't come in and commit crimes when we are welcoming you. Don't take advantage of us. Do you understand? Fix this mess. All right. Speech for the day. Good resetting. Thank you for helping on this, ma'am. Okay.
Sign right there.
Ricky Herring. Is that you? Come on. Who is your attorney on this?
All right.
Oh, okay. I was at December.
Somehow I have lost you on the docket. Okay, it was in the early docket. Ricky Herring. And you don't have an attorney, do you?
Not at the moment, no, sir.
Did you fill out one of these indigent forms?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me.
Up there with it.
All right, your monthly income is showing to be $1,000 to $2,500. Is that right?
Yes, sir, very.
And what do you do again for a living?
Mechanic work, carpentry, tree work, just any work that I can get.
Okay. What is this bond right now?
$25,000.
Make that up till November.
Sir,
I'll pay that up till November. I try to stay ahead of it.
well, let me just tell you something. You're not leaving this room except in shackles. You flunked your drug test. You got amphetamine and methamphetamine in you.
No.
Because we tested you and it was
Okay,
positive. Your bond is going to be revoked. You're in custody. Your bond is now $50,000 plus you must have a drug patch as a condition of bond, which is what happens when you fail your drug tests.
Victor, I don't understand how I built it.
Well, because we tested you and you didn't pass. It's that simple. That's what we went
Okay,
through. That's why you had that urine test and you failed it and you were taken into custody. That's what we do when you don't. Condition of bond is to not commit any crime, be subject to drug testing, and illegal possession of methamphetamine is a crime.
I don't have that stuff.
It's
I
not
don't know
a,
what it is.
look, it's not a debate. You're in custody. You're not leaving here except in shackles. That's what happens. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Deal with the problem. We're gonna get an attorney appointed to help you so that Mr. Dusler is going to be appointed to talk to you, and hopefully he can talk to you a little bit before you are brought to jail. But those are the orders of the court. I will wait for Mr. Dusler to tell me what happens. It's not a debate. You're gonna have to deal with it. It's the orders of the court. Just make the best of it by working with it, listening to your lawyer, and he'll help guide you through this problem. Okay? That is all. Thank you. On Oscar LeBlanc, Mr. LeBlanc, come on out.
Hello. Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Just give me one moment. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 8978, State of Texas versus
Didani Yarbrough.
Didani Yarbrough. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Zach Dunn for the state.
Suzanne
Defense.
Kramer for Mr. Yarbrough.
And are you Mr. Yarbrough?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea of burglary of a habitation with intent to commit felony force. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. State is silent on your application, and this will run concurrent with 6-9-6403. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Judge.
Defense?
Yes, Judge.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
Nothing from the state.
Defense? All right, Mr. Yarbrough, you entered a plea on August 21st of no contest. I've reviewed the stipulations. I'm unsure if it was said on the record, but I believe it was by Judge Angelini. The court is finding that there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court is deferring finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. State is silent on your application. Defenses, do you have any witnesses?
No, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I believe the PSI speaks for itself. It speaks to the love that his family has for this. I have had many conversations with Mr. Yarbrough about him needing to, that you're going to want an explanation for what was he thinking that day, because he's basically a good kid. You know, he doesn't get into trouble, and he's been taking full responsibility for all of his actions. And I think he's a great candidate for deferred adjudication probation on this, especially when the complainant forgives him, doesn't want him, is fine with him getting probation, and kind of wants them back in their lives, although there isn't no contact with her. She doesn't have the child. She's the grandmother. So he said it's okay if you keep that no contact while he's on the deferred.
All right. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
D. Donnie Yarbrough.
All right. So before I begin asking you questions,
Yes, ma'am.
I want to tell you something right here now. Whenever my brothers were late for their curfew that my mom set down, you know what they would always try to tell her? I don't belong in a gang. I haven't committed any crimes. I don't do any drugs. So don't give me that, you know, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because people who are obeying the law shouldn't be doing any of that.
Yes, ma'am.
So how old is your daughter?
She's just turned 3 in July 17th.
All right. So,
Yes, ma'am. And I have another one on the way due in November. Next week will be the mother of my child's 8th month.
all right. And is this the mother of the other child as well?
No, ma'am.
All right. So you're just procreating.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes,
And you now you understand where babies come from.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you can't support your children, you should not be having a lot of children. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So why were you smoking marijuana?
Coping mechanism.
All right. So it is very bad for a child to come to their grandmother's house smelling like marijuana.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you think it's appropriate for your children to smoke marijuana?
No, ma'am. Not at all.
Well, that's what you did with your baby. Because if you're smoking marijuana around them, which obviously you were, because otherwise the baby wouldn't smell like marijuana, the baby's clothes wouldn't smell like marijuana, we would not be here.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that the grandmother loves her grandchild
Yes, ma'am.
and wants what's best for her grandchild.
Yes, ma'am.
Wouldn't do anything to hurt her grandchild.
Most definitely. Yes, ma'am.
You've been doing things to hurt your grandchild. I mean, to hurt your child. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So are you diagnosed mentally with anything?
ADHD, but that's all. That's no excuse. No.
No, there is not.
Yes,
You should
ma'am.
not be using marijuana. And
Yes,
the
ma'am.
court is not going to allow you to use marijuana in this court while you're on probation. It is illegal in Texas to use marijuana.
Yes, ma'am.
If I grant your application for deferred adjudication, and if you use marijuana while you're on probation, guess what? A motion to revoke is going to be filed and you're looking at life in prison.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
it's up to you to decide whether potentially going to prison for life is worth that. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So are you employed?
I will be as soon as I get out. That's no problem.
Have you been employed before?
Yes, ma'am.
Doing what?
Warehouse and construction, manual labor, irrigation, road work, Amazon warehouse.
All right. And how old are you?
I just turned 26 in July.
All right. And how far did you go in school?
I have my high school diploma and I have my associates in St. Philip's College,
And what?
art.
And what are you planning on doing with this art degree?
I really want to own my own business, but it's steps to that. I still have to pick up the knowledge, but
Okay.
more is to
So
come.
how does and you know, I think art is great. One of my brothers was great in art and still is great in art. But how does you going to get your art degree translate into I want to own my own business? Is your art going to be connected to that?
Yes, ma'am. Starting cartoons, drawing magazines, trying to get it in the newspaper.
So what
Things like
steps are you going to take to do that?
Owning my own name, business logo, business account.
Okay.
Still learning and picking up the knowledge to do so.
All right. And how often were you using marijuana?
I say twice a week.
Nobody uses marijuana twice a week.
I get drug tested at jobs, so
You figured out when you could get a negative test?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And have you used anything other than marijuana?
Alcohol, but that's occasionally birthdays, holidays, Thanksgiving. You know,
While you're on
Christmas.
probation, you're not allowed to drink alcohol. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. This is what the court will do. Court will sentence you to 10 years, deferred adjudication. I'm going to request parenting classes. And you're very lucky that the grandmother didn't want you to go to prison. So we're going to do parenting classes, 200 hours of community service restitution. If he enrolls or obtains a business certificate so you can better yourself and completes the parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. So to satisfy those 200 hours of community service restitution, you can go out and do community service hours, or either you can better yourself. And bettering yourself would mean you take parenting classes and you get a certificate or something that shows me you're taking steps to accomplish in life what you want to accomplish.
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. When's the last time you used marijuana?
5 months ago.
All right, so he should be clean. So when he's released, we're going to do a UA. If for some reason when he's released, it's positive for marijuana, start testing for levels.
And just to let you know, he's set on the DWI tomorrow. I'm not his lawyer on that, but it's a JSAT, so he won't get out today. It'll have to wait till tomorrow.
Okay. And then proof of employment within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to order no unsupervised contact with minors until you complete parenting classes. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you can have contact with your child, but someone has to supervise. And if the grandmother,
It can't be her because there's no contact.
well, there's a no contact under this case. If for some reason the grandmother wants to have contact and wants to be the person who supervises, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have, ultimately it's going to catch you. And then you know what's going to end up happening? Warrant's going to be issued for your arrest. You're either going to make bond or you're not. If you don't make bond, you're going to be at the jail. You're going to be brought over in orange. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And just as a side note, how tall are you?
I'm 6'6".
Okay. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right. Do better.
You have a wonderful day. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
You
you,
too.
Judge.
Thank you. Who's here on John Albert Sanchez? Reyes?
I am judging. Yeah, he's.
All right, this is a motion to revoke. Court is calling 2023 CR 1750, State of Texas versus Ariel Giovanni Reyes. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Defense?
Brent Hardy for Mr. Reyes.
And are you Mr. Reyes?
Yes, Mrs.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? I'm sorry, not sign it, but did you understand it? All right, are you the same Ariel Giovanni Reyes who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 1750 for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on April 3rd, 2023 for a period of 5 years? Is that you?
No.
State?
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 1 on or about the 12th day of August 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Ariel Giovanni Reyes committed the offense of criminal mischief in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Your Honor, we'll waive the remaining violated conditions.
Any objections?
No objection, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed recommendation?
Yes, there is, Your Honor, an agreement between the state and the defense, and that is to continue the individual on his, continuing on his deferred and to have him attend the Bexar County ISF 2 program.
All right, is that the agreement?
It is, Judge.
All right, Mr. Reyes, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Ariel Giovanni Reyes.
All right, why are you not completing probation successfully?
I didn't have enough time.
No, I mean, you had enough time to commit a criminal mischief. So my question is, why are you not doing what you need to do to complete probation? Why shouldn't I send you to prison?
I have no idea.
So what is your problem? What's going on in your life that you can't be successful?
Drug problem.
All right. And what is with the Spurs tattoo? Has he been evaluated for gang affiliation? Probation. Has Mr. Reyes been evaluated for gang affiliation or no? Have you ever been in a gang?
No, ma'am.
Well, what's up with the Spurs tattoo? We're going to need a gang evaluation. I don't think, I know they're a great Spurs fan. I'm a great Saints fan, but I'm not painting the fleur de lis on my body. I'm not getting it, especially on the sternum area, because I understand that's painful. So when they do the gang evaluation, it's not going to come up as anything because they're going to do it.
Yes,
They're going to come up with something.
yes.
All right. So why are you being dishonest with the court? So again, we're back to the situation of why should I continue? If you want, I'll give you 3 years in the prison. You will be done. You will have to serve half that time before you're eligible for parole. Whether they give you the parole at 3 years or not is completely up to the parole board. I have no control over that. So I can send you to prison for 3 years, or either you're about to be hit with some serious consequences for your actions, which one of them is going to be gang supervision. The other one is going to be ISF, cognitive and substance. And then there's going to be a TAP evaluation.
I take the 3 years.
All right. Court is going to find you guilty, revoke, sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with David Arguello. If you want the therapeutic community, they can help you with your drug problem. It doesn't increase the time that you're at the prison. All right, so we'll do therapeutic community. You're still going to have to ask for it, and they may not give it to you because of your gang affiliation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled. Are you waiving your right to appeal? All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? All right. Because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is, and I'm sorry, there's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. All right, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're going to have to do better. I understand that you have issues in your past, and I understand your affiliations, but you're going to have to get a handle on your drug problem. Otherwise, somebody you love is going to get notice that there is somebody who has OD'd, and somebody's going to have to come down and identify your body. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Judge, he has 155 days.
All right. Yeah, I'm giving him credit for any time that he's been in custody.
Very well, thank you.
You're welcome.
And Judge,
Yes.
this is no, I'm sorry, we're finished.
Yes.
This is unrelated to anything. I owe you an apology. I put together 2 cartons of eggs this morning and I was in a rush to